Welcome to Dynamic Power Flow. We will get started in a seated position as always, or as usual. I guess sometimes we don't. If you'd like to pull the flesh away from your sitting bones here so you can really ground down, make sure those shins are nice and comfortable. You can cross one leg over top if you'd like for a half lotus. We'll take an inhale to lift the shoulders and roll the shoulders back. And as you exhale, letting them fall and letting the eyes fall closed. As we turn inward to focus on the breath, with each inhale, lifting the chest gently, and each exhale, feeling the seat grounded into your foundation. Taking a nice, long, slow, steady inhale through the nose, listening to your breath and feeling the expansion in the rib cage, feeling a nice, long spine supporting your seated position here. Just focus on the breath for a few moments. Allow yourself to connect. As we shut off a few of our senses, turning inward, feeling the crown floating above the spine. As you breathe into your body. In today's class, we'll build heat and work towards some expansion within our lower body. And as we do this, I invite you to welcome expansion within your soul. And see how far you can reach today within your being. It might be further than yesterday, or maybe you're feeling a little tension in different parts. Just take notes. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no one perfect way to do any pose or any posture. And as we breathe, can start to lift the chin with your inhale. And with the exhale, begin to round into the spine. Gently to start, just work into the depths of each vertebra. Inhaling to lift the chest and lift the chin. Exhaling to empty the lungs completely. Inhaling, you can gently open the eyes to look to the third eye. And exhaling to look towards the belly button. Inhaling for this cat-cow seated, finding that rounded spine, really feeling the expansion. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness, taking an inhale for a nice, long, tall spine, and an exhale to keep the chest lifted. And we'll kickstand our right hand out to the side and taking the left hand overhead, we'll give a gentle side body stretch to that left side body as you lean into that right hand very gently. And peering under the left arm to pull that left shoulder back. And gazing underneath, taking any notes, see what you see. We'll inhale here. And with your exhale, bringing the torso over the hips, bringing the left arm down, and we'll take the right arm up overhead and release the upper body towards that left side, opening up the right side body. Breathing into that rib cage, gently lifting through the core as you rotate, peering under that right armpit, pulling that right shoulder back gently, working with your own breath here. Inhale, and as you exhale, we'll bring the upper body over the hips. And we'll just roll the chin back and forth. So if you'd like to start by tucking your chin into your chest, keeping a nice tall spine, and we'll gently roll the chin towards the right shoulder. And with your exhale, releasing the chin to your chest and slowly rolling the chin to your left shoulder. And working with your own breath here, you can begin to make that movement a little bigger, maybe rolling up to the ear, to the shoulder. If you'd like to take a pause at any point and just breathe into that space on the side of your neck, opening up. Through the cervical spine here. And with an exhale, we'll bring that chin down to the chest and gently lift the crown over the shoulders. And we'll roll over our knees and come to tabletop. So with our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips, the tops of the feet pressing into the floor, almost as if you could just lift those knees right up. A nice engaged core here. We'll give a little wiggle to the hips, just drawing a circle with your tailbone. Big or small, just starting to work some space into those hips. And finding stillness to reverse, making sure you're rotating each way. Just giving a nice big circle, engaging the core as you roll through the spine. And finding stillness here, we'll push the hips back to find child's pose, balasana, with the arms extended forward. Taking a deep breath here through the nose. And allowing yourself to come back to this position at any point in the practice. If you need to reconnect with your breath, or just take a moment with yourself, this is a great way to do it. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, and with your exhale, we'll plant the hands, tuck the toes, and gently lift the hips, keeping a bent knee to start, pressing through the pointer knuckles of the finger. We'll work up into downward facing dog here. Dropping one heel at a time to take a nice deep bend into one knee. Walk the dog, wag the tail, work into those hamstrings and calf muscles. Pressing into the floor with your palms, as if you could just lift your wrists right up, engaging the shoulder girdle by tucking the armpits. We'll find some stillness here. Pulling the chest through the shoulders, take a nice deep inhale. And with your entire exhale, we'll tippy toe up to the top of our mat. And take a nice soft bend to the knees. Your feet can be about hips distance. Take a forward fold here, allowing the crown to drop. You can hold on to the backs of the legs, or if you'd like to draw circles with your arms around the feet. Welcoming in some movement here in this compression position. Finding stillness. Breathing here. We'll take an inhale to lift the gaze. Looking up, we'll lift the chest. Take a flat back. Breathing here with your palms on your thighs, pressing through those quads into the hamstrings. Feeling the resistance, pulling the weight over your feet if you can. And just looking up into that third eye, feeling the shoulders on the back body. Tucking the elbows into the ribs. Breathe here as we wake up our spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, we'll drop the crown, drop the palms to the mat. Take a breath here. And with your next exhale, we'll lower the right foot back behind us, lowering the knee into a low lunge. Squaring up the hips here. You can untuck the toes if you've got your balance. Finding your hips on train tracks. We'll take an inhale to take the arms up overhead. And breathing here, lifting through the pelvis, pulling that right hip up as you look up towards the sky in Anjaneyasana. We'll take an inhale together, and with the exhale, we'll open the arms into a T and turn the right leg in, turning the body towards the side of the mat, so we're in a kneeling warrior two pose. And from here, we'll inhale, and our exhale, we'll take our right hand down to the mat in a side plank, extending the left leg up into the air when you're ready, and pulling the left arm overhead alongside the ear. You can look towards the left fingertips or down at the mat. If you're having trouble with your balance, you can tuck those right toes to help stabilize. We'll inhale here. And with the exhale, placing that foot back on the mat, right in line with your knee here, finding our T position. Virabhadrasana 2, modified. Inhale here, and with your exhale, we'll cartwheel the arms to frame that left foot, rotate the right leg back in line. Tucking those toes, we'll bring the left foot back to meet the right in plank. And we'll take a couple breaths here as we feel the engagement through our arms and our upper body. Tucking that belly button into the spine, feeling the heels pulling back as your chest pulls forward. Inhale, and with your exhale, you can lower knees, chest, chin, or if you'd like to chaturanga. And with your inhale, we'll pull the chest through for a cobra, pressing the legs into the floor. Looking up, we'll take a pause here in this low back bend, breathing, and with your exhale, pressing into the palms to bend the knees, tuck the toes for downward facing dog. Take a few slow breaths through the nose, gazing towards the toes, pressing through those pointer finger knuckles, almost as if you had claws digging into the mat, allowing the shoulders to rise as they may. We'll take an inhale, and with your exhale, picking up the right foot between the palms and lowering the left knee to the mat. Anjaneyasana. Squaring up those hips here, we'll exhale together, and with the inhale, taking the arms up overhead, lifting through the pelvis, and with the exhale, lowering the hands to the mat, tucking the left toes to spring up, standing forward fold. With your exhale, inhale to lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale to let that crown fall forward. And we'll take a gentle bend to the knees and slowly roll the body up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back, grounding through the feet, lifting the toes and spreading them. Feeling engagement through the quads, tucking the pelvis, tucking the ribs. Inhale to lift the chest, allowing the crown to float over the spine. Exhale completely. And with your next inhale, we'll take the arms up overhead, looking up. Exhale to send that heart forward and hips back for forward fold. Inhale to look up for a half lift. Exhale, we'll plant the hands and we'll send the left foot back this time, bending that knee down and squaring up the hips in Anjaneyasana on our train tracks here. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead, pulling that left hip forward. We'll take a couple of breaths here in Anjaneyasana. And with your next exhale, we'll open those arms up into a T to face the side of the mat, rotating that left foot back for Virabhadrasana 2, gazing over the right middle finger, pulling the left shoulder back. We'll inhale here, and as you exhale, we'll cartwheel those arms over to plant the left palm. Bring the right arm over the ear and gently float that right foot up into the air for a modified side plank. Breathing here, engaging through the glutes to support that right leg. Inhale, and with your exhale, we'll bring that right foot back to the mat. Find our Virabhadrasana 2, kneeling. Inhale, and with the exhale, we'll cartwheel those arms over to frame the right foot, tucking the left toes behind us, bringing the right foot back to meet the left in plank. Breathing here, pressing the floor away, feeling that engagement through the whole body. Inhale, and with your exhale, we'll lower knees, chest, chin. And inhale for a cobra, or if you'd like downward or upward facing dog. And with your exhale, we'll tuck those toes, lift the hips. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing into your body, noticing any differences as we've warmed up each side with a little modified classical sun salutation. We'll go through this a couple more times. Breathing here. With your exhale, we'll bring that left foot between the hands, lowering the right knee down. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, we'll plant the hands, tuck the right toes, spring up into that forward fold. Inhale for the halfway lift. Exhale, let the crown fall forward. Inhale to root to rise, scooping the arms up overhead. Exhale for Tadasana. Take a breath. We'll go through that one more time. Take an inhale through the nose and maybe a cleansing breath through the mouth. And with your inhale, scooping the arms up overhead to look up. Exhale, send that heart forward, hips back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, send that right foot back, lowering the knee down. Inhale, scoop the arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, we'll rotate that right leg, opening up into Warrior 2. Exhale, lowering the right hand to the mat, extending the left arm over the ear, maybe lifting that leg if it feels good. We'll take an extra breath here. And with your exhale, cartwheeling the arms over to that T, lowering that left foot back. Inhale here, and we'll frame that left foot, rotating the right foot back. Tucking those toes, pulling the left foot to join in plank. Breathe here. And with your exhale, we'll lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale to pull that chest through for cobra, looking up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Press the floor away. Feel the backs of the legs extending. Finding softness across the face. And breathing in to the expanse. And we'll take an inhale here. And with your exhale, bringing that right foot between the palms, lowering the left knee down. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll lower the hands to the mat, tucking the left toes, pulling that up into forward fold. Inhale for the half lift. Exhale to let the crown fall forward. Bend at the knees if you'd like, root to rise, scoop that up overhead. Exhale for Tadasana. Inhale, we'll scoop it up overhead, go right into it. Exhale, send that heart forward, forward fold. Inhale for the half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, send that left foot back, lower the knee down. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll open up into that warrior two, modified, peering over the right hand. Inhale here, and as you exhale, we'll lower that left hand down, floating the right foot into the sky. Side plank, extra breath. And with your exhale, lowering that foot, cartwheeling arms back up to the T. Inhale here, and with your exhale, we'll cartwheel to frame that right foot, turning the left toes back, stepping back into plank. Breathe here. And with your exhale, we'll lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale for the back bend, pressing the mat away. Exhale to tuck the toes, lift the hips. Bringing that tailbone high in the sky, pulling that heart center through, allowing the armpits to tuck under to support that cervical spine. Maybe nodding the head and rocking the chin left and right. Keeping it nice and loose here. We'll inhale, and with the exhale, stepping that left foot between the palms, lowering the right knee down. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead, lifting through the pelvis. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the right toes, press it up into the forward fold. Inhale to look up for the half lift. Exhale, let the crown fall. Inhale, bending at the knees if you'd like, scoop it up overhead. And exhale for Tadasana. All right. Regrounding through the feet, feeling all four corners of each foot, planting into the ground, rooting our foundation, lifting through the arches, feeling engagement through the glutes, lifting through the center, regrounding our mountain pose here in Tadasana, and welcoming in the expansion. Exhaling completely. With your next inhale, we'll scoop the arms up overhead, looking up. Exhale to send that heart forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, we'll plant the hands, send that right foot back for Anjaneyasana. Inhaling to scoop the arms up overhead. Exhaling to open up into that T, warrior two. With your next exhale, we'll find our right hand on the mat, floating the left leg up, pressing through the ground with our right knee and our right hand. Breathe here, and with your exhale, we'll cartwheel those hands back up into the T. Inhale here, and with your next exhale, finding those hands on the mat, rotating back towards the front into plank. Take an extra breath, pressing that ground away, full body engagement. With your exhale, we'll lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale for the back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Pulling the chest towards the knees. Feeling those elbows rotating under. Breathing through the nose. With your next exhale, we'll take that right foot between the palms, lowering the left knee down. Inhale, scoop the arms up overhead, lifting through the pelvis. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the left toes, press it up into that forward fold. Inhale for the half lift. Exhale, let it fall forward. Inhale, scoop it up overhead. And exhale for Tadasana. Right into the next inhale, scoop it up overhead. Exhale, send that heart forward, hips back. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, send that left foot back, lower the knee down. Inhale for Anjaneyasana, lifting through the hips. Exhale, we'll rotate that left knee, gazing over the right fingers. Inhale here, and with your exhale, lowering that left hand to the mat, floating the right leg into the air. Breathe here. And with your next exhale, we'll lower that foot to the mat, cartwheeling the arms up. Breathe, and with your next exhale, cartwheeling to frame that right foot, tucking the back toes, bringing the right foot back for plank. Inhale here, and with your exhale, we'll lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale to scoop that chest through, pinching those shoulder blades back. Exhale to tuck the toes, lifting the tailbone, elongating through the spine, engaging through the legs, downward facing dog. Breathe here. And with your next exhale, we'll bend the knees all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, send those hips back. Pulling the arms around to hold on to the heels. We'll take a quick child's pose. And just listen to your body for a moment. Tuck into this tight little ball before we begin to expand. Breathing here. When you're ready, you can take the palms back under the shoulders, pressing up through tabletop, walking the palms a little further ahead to tuck the toes and lift the hips back into downward facing dog. So from here, we'll take our right foot high into the sky, three-legged dog, lowering that right hip down, squaring it up here, keeping the weight even between those three limbs. We'll inhale, and if you'd like to bend into that right knee, expanding through the right hip, you can start to allow it to kind of extend behind your body, but keep your shoulders square. Let the hips open, but see if you can lower that right shoulder back down. We'll inhale here in this funky three-legged dog. And with your exhale, we'll tuck that right knee into the nose, plant that right foot, lower the left heel down, cartwheel the arms up into a full warrior two. Bending deep into that right knee, feeling engagement through the quad. Breathe here. And when you're ready, we'll lower that right hand in front of the right foot and bring the left arm over the left ear, peering under An extended side angle pose. If you'd like to look up towards your fingertips, that's welcome. Breathe here, feeling the expansion within your being. And when you're ready, we'll straighten that right leg and extending the left hand up into the sky, finding a nice deep triangle pose here. Breathing into the expansion of your inner groin and your hamstrings. You can look at either hand here, whichever drishti works for this moment. Inhaling here. With your exhale, we'll bend into that right knee, bringing the right arm up back into Virabhadrasana 2. We'll inhale here, and with your exhale, cartwheel the arms overhead to frame that foot. Bringing that right foot back up overhead in three-legged dog, and lowering back into downward dog. We'll take a few breaths here. Recentering, finding our foundation, feeling grounded as we allow ourselves to expand. We'll take a nice deep exhale completely. And with your next inhale, we'll bring that left foot up into three-legged dog. Pulling that left hip down for now, squaring up the hips and the shoulders, finding your weight evenly distributed. Inhale here. And as you exhale, gently bending into that left leg, allowing the hip to open, but mindful of those shoulders, keeping the shoulders nice and square. Find a gentle twist in your spine here, opening through that left side body. We'll inhale, and with your exhale, we'll tuck that left knee towards the nose, planting that foot, and cartwheeling the arms as we lower the right foot down for Virabhadrasana 2, full standing. And we'll take a couple of breaths here as we ground down through that left front foot, right leg in the back. Breathing here with your exhale, we'll lower that left hand to the ground in front of the left foot, bending deep into that knee, taking the right arm over the right ear, peering underneath the armpit, or gazing towards that upper hand if you'd like. We'll breathe here through the nose, tucking the core, spreading through all 10 toes. And when you're ready, pressing through that left knee to straighten and bringing the right hand high in the sky for a nice wide extended triangle, Trikonasana. We'll breathe here, squaring through the hips, engaging the core and the glutes, gazing up towards that palm, or maybe on the ground, finding your drishti for the moment. Finding your foundation. We'll inhale here, and with your exhale, bending into that left knee, cartwheeling the arms back to Virabhadrasana 2. Pulling that right shoulder back gently. We'll inhale and exhale to cartwheel the arms over to frame that left foot. Pressing into the right foot to bring the left foot back up into three-legged dog. Squaring those hips as you gently lower the left foot to the mat. And we'll go ahead and lower those knees, press the hips back, and take a quick child's pose. And breathing through the nose. Slow and steady, calm breaths. We'll take one more little vinyasa. And then we'll cool it down. If you'd like to take a couple of cleansing breaths right now, we'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And one more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And planting those hands on the mat just in front of your shoulders. We'll come up into tabletop here. And taking your right foot straight behind you, we'll square those hips down. We'll take a gentle tuck of that right foot into your chin and lifting in towards your chest. We'll take a few breaths here, engaging through that flex, that hip flexor, feeling the expansion within the compression, this gentle balancing. Inhale, and with your exhale, we'll let that foot track behind us, lifting the toes up high in the sky. Breathe here. And if you've got a nice balance, taking the left hand back, we'll bend into that right foot, right knee, finding the right foot with the left hand. If you're off balance, you can tuck those left toes on the floor, or just press into the top of that left foot. So pressing into your right foot, into your hand, and gently pulling into that left elbow. Finding tiger pose here. You can look down towards the mat also, pressing the ground away, maybe a soft elbow in that left stable arm. Breathing here. With your exhale, we'll lower the hand to the mat, keeping that foot lifted, and gently lowering the right foot to the mat. We'll take a little wag to the tail, rotating those circles, making a nice deep curve to the spine, and making sure you switch directions. Finding expansion within our spine. And we'll take that on the left side. So grounding through both palms. We'll gently lift the left foot behind us. Breathing here. We'll inhale, and with your exhale, we'll tuck that knee towards the chin. See if you can lift the quad towards your chest. Looking at that knee, feeling a magnetize between your nose and your knee here. Inhale, feeling that connection in the compression. And with your next exhale, we'll take that heel back behind us and up into the sky. And once you found your balance here, taking that right hand to find the left foot behind you. Pressing into the backs of your feet to find your balance on the floor, and also to extend through that back leg in tiger pose. Bending into that right elbow to pull in and feel the expansion across that hip flexor. Keeping the hips as square as possible. Inhale here. And with your exhale, we'll lower the hand down to the mat, lifting the foot. And exhale to lower that knee into tabletop. And we'll take our knees nice and wide here. And we'll open our feet for a gentle frog pose. So if this is too much on your hips, feel free to keep the feet closed. Lowering the hips back gently between those feet. We'll just breathe here, allowing the belly to release. And finding the expansion within the hip flexors. Maybe as you're here, you can find yourself walking it out a little wider. Breathing here in frog pose. Maybe lowering the forehead to the mat. Taking a few cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, we'll bring the weight back into the palms, bringing the heels back together and gently walking the knees under the body. We'll roll back into a seated position, finding our feet on the mat and rolling down to the back body. We'll tuck our knees into the chest and wrap the arms around the knees as best as you can. Let the head fall back and just rock gently back and forth. This releasing pose. And you can take your knees into each hand and draw nice wide circles in opposite directions. Those knees. And making sure you reverse that. Taking note as to how your femurs are rolling through your hip sockets here. And finding stillness. We'll keep our feet together, finding a nice butterfly pose, letting the feet fall to the floor and allowing the knees to come open. Tucking the pelvis as best you can. I know we don't have a support under our back. We'll just take this reclined butterfly here for a few moments. Allowing the palms to rest on the belly, or maybe one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. And establishing this connection within our being. You can close the eyes if you'd like. Listening to your breath, listening to your heartbeat, finding stillness. Baddha Konasana. When you're ready, we'll take our knees with our hands, gently pulling each knee into each armpit and holding either around the calves, or if you'd like to hold your heels or maybe your big toe in happy baby. Wherever you are, allowing the shoulders to rest against the floor. So if your shoulders are lifting, maybe lower your hands onto your inner thighs or outer thighs. Feeling that expansion. Across the legs. If you'd like to maybe straighten into one leg at a time. Allowing gravity to work with the heat we've built. Extending through the muscles. And with your exhale, we'll bring those knees back into the chest and lowering just the feet to the mat, keeping a bent knee. We'll lift the hips and shift them to the right. And tucking the knees back to the chest, we'll let them roll over to the left. So we've just created a little more space for our spine to twist here. Bringing the arms into a T. We'll press into that left hand and look towards the right. Keeping the shoulders grounded, finding softness in the face. If you'd like to bring that left palm to the right knee, that's welcome. Breathing full, expansive breaths into the belly. Welcoming in stillness. And inner peace. And allowing for the expansion across the outer right hip. Breathing into all these nooks and crannies that we've just compressed. Let's see if we can open up some space. Expand between those bones. We'll take a nice, slow, cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the help of your left hand, you can lift the knees into the chest, lowering the feet to the mat and shifting the hips back to center. Finding a nice recentered body here, we'll lift the hips to the left, tucking the knees into the chest and letting them fall to the right. Arms come into a T, pressing into that right palm and gazing towards the left. Finding the shoulders heavy in the ground. You can bring your right palm to that left knee if you'd like. Breathing here. Sending some love down into our organs, into the kidneys, into the liver, into our digestive system. Allowing the breath to swirl down the back of the throat, into the belly, expanding through the entire body as your blood pumps this fresh, clean oxygen into each of your limbs. Breathing smooth, slow breaths through the nose. Allowing each part of your body to just be heavy and relaxed in this twist. Expanding across the left outer hip. And when you're ready, gently with the support of your right hand, tucking the knees into the chest and lowering the feet to the ground. You can shift the hips back to center and taking the feet nice and wide on the mat, we'll let the knees fall left to right, allowing one leg to internally rotate while the other externally rotates. Just very slowly rolling through those hip sockets. Maybe resting on one side. Lowering one knee internally. And when you're ready, finding stillness and letting the feet extend and rocking those toes back and forth, bending at the knees as needed, finding the perfect shavasana for yourself, tucking the pelvis, letting the palms face up or down, or maybe they rest on your belly. Finding absolute stillness, the gentle tuck to the chin, allowing that cervical spine to extend. Feeling softness in the toes and across the tops of your feet. Tracing that relaxation through the ankle and up the calf. Softening across the knees. Releasing any tension in your thighs. Allowing each breath to bring softness to your pelvis. Expanding through the abdomen. Finding softness in your core. Letting the shoulders be heavy. Allowing the neck and collarbone to completely relax. Feeling as if your body was made of sandbags and the sand is just pouring out into the ground beneath you as you become your foundation. Softening across the eyelids. Releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feeling the breeze, the cool air across your skin. Relaxing across the forehead. Softening the bridge of your nose. You can begin to elongate your breath, feeling the belly rise gently with each inhale and the chest collapsing with each exhale. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes, beginning to wake up your physical body from this mini shavasana. Probably could have been longer. We'll roll through the wrists, and the ankles and bending at the knees, bending at the elbows. You can give a stretch overhead if you'd like. And we'll rock the knees to let the body fall to one side, rolling into the fetal position for a moment. Taking a cleansing breath here, we'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And gently pressing the body to an upright seated position. Finding your spine long over your tailbone. We'll take an inhale to scoop the arms up overhead and draw a line down the center of the body with the palms, letting them stop at heart center. We'll take a gentle tuck to the chin in gratitude to ourselves for taking this time to breathe and expand within our beings. Thank you for joining me.